happen. We've looked this up on this pod before.
We've talked a lot about the age of consent on this pod.
No, specifically Poe's cousin.
Why Poe's cousin?
Because that every time Edgar Allan Poe gets brought up, like we go to the fact that he was married to his cousin.
Nice. I like doing that with John Lennon. People bring up the Beatles. I go, oh, really? It's interesting you love women hitters so much.
Yeah.
Dunk on people like that.
I know. I mean, Chris Brown, you couldn't say his name for 5 years, but John Lennon, untouchable.
I went to a strip club with my lawyer in my early 20s, and his name was Carl. And out of nowhere, the stripper started talking to us about how if someone took our phone, we'd probably hit them too, and that's what happened between Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Yeah. She took his phone?
Yeah, well, I mean, she was also like, a young lady, and he was much older, and he like beat the shit out of her. It's not like he like slapped her and was like, give me my phone back. He beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, didn't she have like, she had a couple... I mean, she had a shiner, didn't she? Wasn't there a picture released?
Yeah, the picture, she was brutalized.
Yeah,
it looks like a UFC fight. You know what I mean?
Man, that's tough. The worst one, I mean, who's the dude that dragged the girl into the elevator? That was a football player, Ray Rice. Remember that one? When he beat up his wife and dragged her into the elevator.
And there was footage of it, right?
It was in a hotel lobby, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane. Because that is, I think at a certain point, that's like people thinking they can get away with anything.
Yeah.
Because back, I mean, in my day, you got to hit your wife in your home.
Something you do at home. Now, they got cameras around your house. You can't even hit your wife at home anymore.
Your neighbor's Ring camera picks it up through the window, dude.
You're yelling at your wife, and there's something in the neighborhood app.
Oh, dude. What's up with these neighborhood apps? Are you on a neighborhood app?
My wife is.
Are they gossipy?
They're gossipy.
Are people like, yo, the Carters haven't cut their lawn in like 7 weeks. What's up with that?
A few years ago, it was just like, hey, black guy on the street. Like, that neighborhood app
was
just like, hey.
A few years ago?
Yeah, a few years ago, it was only like, hey, black guy on the street. Now it's all like, hey, anyone know a roofer? And then immediately a response is like, I'm a roofer in the neighborhood. And then 3 people respond. It's all fake marketing shit now.
Wait, is it? It used to be that blatant? Like, hey, guys, we got a Hispanic dude. Like the
Straight up, yeah. I can't even, because I remember specifically when I lived in Hyde Park.
I lived in Hyde Park, too. I love Hyde Park.
I love Hyde Park.
I want to buy a house in Hyde Park.
Oh, I wish.
That would be the goal, but no one's selling.
If we get enough views on this podcast,
we get a compound in Hyde Park.
We'll
buy like 3, 4, 5 properties, tear down the wall, chicken coop.
I
think if
a wife house.
What do you think I meant? Dude,
a couple roosters like us clucking around the compound.
Yeah, I was the wet hens, dude. That's what when my girl gets with her friends and they start drinking, I call it the wet hen house.
Oh, I love to go, oh, have fun, cluck, cluck, clucking.
That's all. Yeah, dude, they just chirp, bro. Tweet, squawk. Any sound that a bird makes is equivalent to the sound a woman makes.
I like to say when my wife goes out with her girlfriends, I like to say, oh, have fun talking about me. Oh, have fun complaining about me. Yeah. I love to say that.
Have we been? Hell yeah.
Nice.
What are the odds you hit record?
We've been recording.
Oh, good. We kind of been cooking a little bit.
I think we got a clip. Sam and I always joke, because like we have like a conspiracy kind of podcast, and we're both people that people would call conspiracy guys. But like our dream is to have the type of crowd that like not only 3D print their own guns, but when we promote a show, they have to wear like the clear backpacks. Like, our dream is to curate a fan base of people being like, yeah, that guy's on a federal. Oh, the FBI knew about him before what he did.
That almost has a sex appeal to it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, to other dudes for sure.
Right, yeah, but not the kind of dudes you want. The kind of dude that's going to take a shot at the president's ear. That's the guy that's going to show up, I
have a very strong opinion on the Trump assassination attempt. Do you want to hear it?
Please.
I don't think there's anything more American than trying to kill a president.
Dude, listen, there is something. I mean, if you interpret the declaration in a certain way, you can almost say they're inviting me to kill the president.
I'll be honest, I don't think he was a cool guy, and I think he did I don't think any of my friends, if they were like, I'm going to kill the president, I'd be like, that's tight. Yeah. But the fact that someone tries, I'm like, that's USA, baby. That's USA.
There's something about it, dude. Did you watch the new series Manhunt about the Lincoln assassination?
No,
I haven't. It's pretty good. It's a theatrical rendition, of course. It's not biographical. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that guy was like I don't know what he represented. Can you look that up, what John Wilkes Booth was about? I don't.
The Lincoln assassination, or the Lincoln, what was it called? The Lincoln Conspiracy. That book is what like made me a conspiracy theorist. I read it when I was probably 11 or 12. My friend Samuel Greenhouse gave it to me.
Now, Brandon, JT described himself as a conspiracy guy. What would you call me?
You're a conspiracy guy, but
I dabble.
You dabble. Like, it's not that you're not crazy enough. It's a lack of care for you.
I think that's what it is.
You know what I mean? Like, you have the crazy in
It's
you
in there.
to like put fucking pins on your wall and trace it, but you don't care enough.
Dude, when the Rainy Street Ripper got hot again, I got a cork
You've
board.
got me into that shit, dude.
Yeah, dude. There's some. I could put you on. I could put you both on. But
Yeah.
Dude, I'll light you guys up on this. I was a door guy at an after-hours club in downtown Austin a couple summers ago.
Folks.
And there are 100%, I mean this, 100% true. I'm not fucking with you guys right now. There are 100% every single night men that drive around and try to get drunk people into their cars, men and women.
yeah.
And whether you think that's just like a different thing or you think that's the murderer, one thing that we know for a fact, anyone that's been a door guy, especially at an after-hours place, people drive around, pretend to be Ubers, people drive around and try to get people in their cars, and like, people even try to trick people and you see it every single night. I swear to fucking God.
I'm gonna start like when I see like drunk women getting in an Uber. I'm like, did you check the license plate? I'm gonna start checking them.
Yeah.
And I might come off as the creep, but they'll thank me later.
You're gonna rush in as the hero. Check the license plate.
It's like,
You're not safe. You're not safe.
I'm just like, that's not your Uber. You guys come with me. Hop on the scooter. I'll take you home.
I recently got hired by the city of Austin, actually, to go around to bus stops and tell women they look beautiful today.
Oh, nice.
So, similar job. I walk up right behind them. You look gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they're waiting.
That's pretty good.
You look gorgeous.
Do you flex with your arms like that?
Yeah,
when
I
you do it?
stand out behind them so they know that I'm safe.
Yeah.
Women need to see your hands,
Right.
So they know you don't have a weapon.
And if you flex real hard, let them know they're strong, that you can protect them.
I'll stand there. I'll shadow box for a few minutes.
Yeah, and that way they know that if another bad guy were to come, obviously not you, you can protect them.
Much like how bears pee in their territory, I walk around shadow box in mine so they kind of know they got a male.
Oh, dude, that's pretty badass. So other homeless people, like, they come to that and they feel the essence someone's shadow box.
Yeah, you don't see any homeless people in
Yeah.
the studio, do you?
No.
I shadow boxed around in here 10, 15 minutes.
I noticed you were here pretty early. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I was
good.
sweating it up.
That's good stuff. It did feel like somebody watched Cops in here when I walked in. I will
Do you
say
watch
that.
body cam footage?
Brother, what is it? Blue Cam something. That's a good one that I
That's a
watched.
good one,
I like
yeah.
that dude from Arizona, that cocky road cop. You ever see that guy? He's got like a whole page now.
Is it Jason or the civil rights lawyer?
Neither. It's
Okay.
a big buff dude, and he just knows the rules of the road. He's all about the rules of the road, and like anytime he pulls over someone with road rage, he'll give him a lesson on stoicism. Such a douche, but I can't get enough.
Oh, I would love that one.
Yeah.
There's this horrible auditor. Then I watch him through a lot of body cam footage, but I also watch him on his page too, named Jason. And his thing is him and his son just go to small towns and record at the post office until someone tells them they can't, which they can, right?
Right.
Constitutionally protected right. Cops don't know the laws, so the cops will arrest him, and then he gets some like $10,000-$15,000 lawsuit, and he calls himself a defender of the Constitution. Because that's what I want. That's the aspect of my constitutional rights I want defended,
Right.
is recording at the post office. That's really what's under threat, Jason. Thank you for your service, buddy. That's this guy's thing. He's so annoying. I hate him.
Well,
but I watched him.
that is, and I hate to use this word because it is unfortunately my mother's name, but that is the Karen aspect. And I love you, mother. And it's not too late to change the name. But I told her, you can't see at Starbucks. You gotta give them something else because you're gonna get harassed when they start calling out that name. The kids are gonna whip out the phone, and it's not gonna look good.
I
for
would
you.
lean in. I would tell your mom to lean in.
Unfortunately, she is without knowing it.
Yes, my mom is.
She checks a lot of boxes. Not the racist one yet, but I mean, she stubs her toe at a Popeyes. It's a game over. She's 68 years old, man. It's and I shouldn't have said that. That's her age. I bleep that out maybe if we can timestamp that. Just kidding. She doesn't listen.
My
She'll
mom's
never-
getting old and was telling me about a YouTube video she saw called 5 Lies My Liberal Teacher Told Me.
She's like, have you just seen this? Charlie bit me.
Yeah.
This is crazy. You got to watch this.
I
I
was
think
like,
the kids are calling it viral.
Yeah, I'm going to go and change her setting so my mom doesn't go down like some sort of alt-right pop line on accident, you know?
Or do it so that's all she gets.
Yeah, I want to do that with my dad in Islam. He has dementia right now. My dad has dementia.
How old's your
right
pops?
now.
Dementia.
Yeah, I am
Islam?
convinced I can make a Muslim. I know I can make a Muslim with the right YouTube. I'm gonna put on the
Okay.
call to prayer and be like, wow, that just went on by itself. What a miracle.
Don't do it without a camera though, because that's content. Video.
Here's what's funny is my brother's a pastor, right? And
pastor?
so he's a pastor. Like
pastor.
He's a pastor of a mega church, not a fun Southern pastor.
Oh.
Not a fun dancing Southern pastor.
it.
He's wearing Hawaiian shirts up in the pulpit. It is not fun. But I told him, I said, I'm gonna show my dad in front of my dad. I said, I'm gonna show him some videos about Islam tonight. And my brother said, don't show dad videos of Islam. But because my dad has dementia, he's never gonna be told what to do. And so he was like, hey, JT and I can watch whatever we want. And I was like, dude, you're pushing him right into Allah's head. You are pushing Dad right towards Islam.
You are pushing him east, my friend. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we do have JT Kelly on the pod today, which your name does sound like a radio station. JT Kelly, 87.1, The Bust.
Yeah, my initials are JK, absolute LOL. Welcome to the airwaves, you know?
And folks, we are back. Look at that. Look at that, dude. I wanted to ask you something because I just moved into a new place, and I want I've been to your place. I've seen that you're a neighborly guy. I just get the vibe. Me and my neighbors next door. By the way, guess that race. You ready for this? They have a RV in the driveway right next to a Mustang, and 3 kids just constantly sitting out front on lawn chairs.
Those Mexican people.
Yeah, dude, and I love it. I can't get enough.
The best race.
I love them, dude. We talked about this yesterday, and we'll get to that. But we wave. We're very friendly.
Good.
Always wave. However, haven't exchanged names or numbers, nothing like that yet. Is that on them or me as the move-in or the move-in-ee?
Whoever feels inspired.
Okay.
I am ridiculous. The second
You
my
come over
neighbors
with
moved
muffins.
in,
You come
I
over.
was over first day. I remember I was in shorts and a tank top over at their house. Howdy, they don't speak a lick of English.
Oh.
Angel, and then I had to forget the other guy's name. But we wave to each other every day.
We could take a guess.
I was Google translating, saying howdy. You know?
Nice. I
How
think
long
that, you don't think they understood howdy?
I was like, howdy. Sorry, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand.
Welcome to Texas, boys.
I call them both boy. Both the grown men I continuously
Welcome to Texas, hombres. Niños, welcome.
You seem like some good hombres the way you clean that car. I don't know if they have a car detailing business or if the boys
Just
in their
love the
family
game.
just know these guys are the guys for it. They're
I'm gonna
always
tell you,
cleaning
a lot of
cars.
the times in that culture, it's a love of the game.
Yeah.
Pristine lawns. That's also the business a lot of the times too. These guys, I don't know what they do, but they get picked up in a pickup truck every morning at 8, so I know they're grinding.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next point. Me and JT are officially blue-collar boys. I've been a blue-collar boy for a long time, but yesterday we helped a rich guy build a pool.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the most unsafe pools. This pool's ridiculous, Brandon. It's literally, they dug a hole, they covered it with, and I don't know how the hell you make a pool, but it's not like this.
We don't know enough about pools to know how to do it, but we know this ain't right.
I'll tell you, if I had kids, they're not jumping in this thing.
Yeah.
Because, all right, so it's a big hole, kidney-shaped, which I love. Big fan of that, the kidney-shaped pool. It's a classic.
It's a classic American pool.
Covered with a tarp, and then it's just large stones, jagged stones, like all over the place that just cover it, and then small little rocks that we were putting in to like fill the cracks, and that's it, like a lake. But except the lake has sand at the bottom.
This is like a $4,000 pool. Like
Pretty-
this
yeah.
pool is cheaper than an above ground pool.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Well,
What's even cooler is a lot of the rocks that we were moving, we moved some big ones.
Yeah.
We were just putting them on the angle on the side of the pool like that. So Lord knows those aren't going to be there when it really starts popping off. We're just adding variables to this little hole in the
They're
ground.
not tied down.
No.
Okay.
And I think that the people that are, I think they believe they're going to stay.
Yeah.
I kind of get the vibe that they're under. Oh, once the water's there, they ain't moving.
It's heavier than the water. Well, you
Yeah.
tell me it's going to float, brother?
But yeah, exactly. You tell me that rock's gonna float across the way. No, ain't no way. Ain't no
Come
way.
to my
now.
property and sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
You think a snapping turtle's gonna come here, lift that rock on over? It ain't gonna happen, bro. But yeah, dude, imagine a swan dive into that pool, bro. That's
death
insane.
sentence. Any type of jump into that pool.
Now it's gonna look gorgeous.
It's going to look beautiful.
It's
There's
gonna-
a waterfall built into it. Beautiful.
It's gonna look sick, but I highly suggest they turn it into a pond.
Yeah, that needs to be for fishing little fishes out. It
Yeah.
needs to be a little bait pond.
Dude,
You
they
get in there, little
obviously
fishes out there.
this was on a big ranch. They obviously have money. Stock it with bass.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like a nice. You noticed the what is it called, a jet stream, airstream?
Yeah, really
Yeah,
nice. With
it's-
like custom doors you can
Yeah,
see.
a built-out airstream right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be like an Airbnb or like a wedding situation. But that as a pool is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a tree right there that just screams rope swing too,
Yeah.
and I couldn't resist.
All right.
But it was funny because we worked, I don't know, maybe 3.5 hours, and the result was them kind of just saying, "We're gonna hire Mexicans."
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We're probably just gonna go to Home Depot tomorrow. You guys were great. We didn't hear enough whistles. Nobody was saying "mira," mira.
You probably cost more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
They
I
probably.
always say I know Spanish, and like I don't.
No.
But I have worked so many job sites where I can just go, and they go,
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, I know Spanish. I know Spanish.
Well,
you know what I
I
mean?
can communicate with them.
Yeah.
And I anytime someone asks me if I hob low, I always say Paquito, and that's literally that's the word.
Yeah.
Paquito. That's the one I know. Paquito.
Little bit. Donde está la café?
How do you do? Can you order? Could you order around a cerveza?
I could say dos cold brew para llevar.
Nice.
Para llevar dos cold brew.
Right. And was that anything?
That's 2 cold brews to go.
Okay. Nice.
I can say Kanaki.
Nice.
Kanaki.
I just don't think you're going to run into a situation where they're pumping cold brew and all they speak is Spanish. That tends to be a white person's product.
I was in Mexico City, and you can
Okay, well then there you go.
Some of them speak
Checkmate.
English, but they just don't want to.
Yeah.
And I kind of fuck with that, to be honest.
Right, well that's kind of the vibe here too. Like there's people that speak Spanish, but I think it's offensive if you just go in speaking Spanish.
Yeah, I'm not like a super like English only type of dude. I wouldn't necessarily want that here.
Right.
But when I go to Mexico City and they're not speaking Spanish, or they're not speaking English to me, I go, I respect that, bro.
Yeah.
I do. I'm like,
Right.
that's kind of tight. You're like, I'm not fucking.
In Japan, they speak English at you.
Because they know you want to speak English.
Yeah. They cater to us. Unfortunately, they shouldn't. They should put their foot down a little more. But we saw what happened when they tried that.
Okay, Japan, why don't you go ahead and not try speaking English next time I'm over there?
Yeah.
I'll make one phone call, buddy.
Right. Remember
the senator's like, why do you keep calling me?
Remember Nagasaki? Used to be a lovely town. Used to be a beautiful place to grow up. Not anymore.
Not a single coffee shop would speak English. Not one.
Dude, can I tell you the most accidental racist thing I've ever done? And
Sure.
I lose sleep over this sometimes. I was with my buddy, and I just came back from Japan, and I was feeling good. I was flexing on people. You know, I was accidentally bowing still.
Nice.
I was hot. I was dropping my my origatos left and right.
What's an accidental bow? That's making me laugh. Oops, sorry.
Like, drop the dollar.
Just putting yourself in. Oh no, I'll get the remote. It's fine.
What I mean in Japan is like, if you say like you talk to somebody and you go your separate ways, you bow it. Then it's like I was doing that to my neighbor.
How many times did you bow into handshakes by accident? Be like, I'm sorry, I'm
just fucking get
cultured.
slapped in the forehead.
Oops, yeah.
Mad respect to keep doing that here, to be honest.
By
I
the way,
love
that's like a funny Three Stooges skit. Like you go
Yeah.
for a bow, just get slapped in the head. It's a handshake. That's funny.
The
Write it down.
The bow's sick. We did a whole
Dude, the bow's so
a whole
gangster.
Rockies where every comic had to pass the mic with a bow.
It's so
And that was
gangster,
it was so
dude.
fun.
It's
Crowd
respectful.
loved it.
I bowed so low there wasn't a single time I didn't get lightheaded, dude. I was kissing my knee, bro. I was getting
Nice.
down there. And the more elderly the person is, the more respect you're supposed. The deeper the bow, the more respect.
That's still a thing in Japan.
oh
bowing.
yeah, dude.
That is-
bro.
That's
They
wild.
use chopsticks. They don't have fork. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? They drive on the wrong side. I mean, the left side of the road.
They called me a wizard when I used my lighter in front of them.
Yeah, dude. I walked down the street. They said, "Gazera." it's Japan, dude. Yes, they bow, of course.
That's awesome. I wouldn't stop, dude.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I see why it would be a hard time here to stop bowing.
But
That
so
feels
me and my
addictive.
buddy, we go to a Japanese sushi restaurant that like me and my parents grew up going to, and there was a Asian person behind he was making the sushi, and I was like, "So man, how long have you been here?" And he was like, "Huh?" I'm like, "How long have you been here?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, realizing, oh shit, this guy, California. He's like, "My whole life." And I'm like, "Oh, nice. Are you Japanese?" And he's like, "No, dude, I'm Filipino, and I went to high school with you." And I was like,
Oh, no.
"What the fuck?" Dude. Bro, and I was trying to be like culturally respectful, like I was gonna drop some lingo on him, like let him know I knew the culture, like tell him how I love the fish over there, like this teriyaki sauce is bullshit, bro. Like you don't have to put it on, like, but no,
You
dude.
and I know.
Yeah.
You and I, the
Yeah,
insiders.
it's not these honkies, dude. These
Yeah.
these gaijins, these guys. Hey, no gaijin. No, by the way,
last samurais right here.
now,
we
but,
understand what's
now
going
on the reverse, the first time I ever experienced racism was in Japan. They are outwardly racist.
How'd you get racist in Japan?
I was in like a deep part of Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
I had my boy, shout out to Buddha, the most shout out person on this podcast, childhood friend. He came to visit me, him and my boy David Shi in Japan, and we went to like a deep spot, Harajuku. Usually don't go. We went into like a downstairs bar and we walked in. It was like a classic like Japanese bar from like a kung fu film from like the 80s. And I know that's Chinese, but you know.
That seems Japanese to me.
Right? I mean, tomato, or ching chong, whatever they say.
Mm-hmm.
But this is getting dicey. Anyways, like everyone's wearing their business suits, like a classic, like business, like just Japanese bar. And we walk in, they hit us with a no gaijin, no gaijin, and like, but like they're also like very respectful about it. Like, please, you gotta go. Like we just because they don't want to. Like no one speaks English in that part of town. They don't want to deal with it. It's just we have a reputation for being loud, a little disrespectful, drunk, and to be honest, our reputation, precedes us.
When I first moved to Austin, 2013, I went to a bar right by my house when I lived on Riverside, and now it's fucking Fraser's.
Love Fraser's.
But when I went there...
He has they let him in on merit, dude. He's got a bar. He doesn't even pay anymore.
That's what's up.
We do go there a lot, though.
Every now and then they'll tap Brendan in as a door guy when he's drunk. They'll be like, hey, I need to take a smoke
I could
break.
be a great door guy.
Yeah,
you would be a great door guy. You're tall.
because everybody gets in, baby.
Yeah.
It's a party now,
I will say, amazing bar. Top 5 worst seating arrangement I've ever seen in my life.
It's a little weird. The booths on the
half booths, so no one can sit across from you. So it's like legit like if there were 10 people,
shoulder
Maddie
to
would
shoulder.
sit there and I'd sit here, and then the 8 other people.
Can you pass the
would sit
cheese
between
curds,
us.
Brandon? Throw me one.
And there's
sounds
nothing
nice.
on the other side.
That seems like you guys are on a team. I would like that.
But I
Especially
can't
since I'm
talk
deaf
to
in my
I can't
left ear.
talk
No,
to him.
it feels like we're in a jury. Like, dude, it feels like we're watching a court proceeding.
Yeah, but that bar rocks.
Dude, they're chopped cheese.
Oh yeah, the chopped cheese. It's $6 for a chopped cheese.
Back to your story.
Yes,
Never been
sorry.
to Fraser's, but I went when it was a Mexican restaurant or a Mexican bar.
I'll
and
take
I
you to
went in.
Fraser's, dude. Thursday night, let's go to Fraser's.
I would love to.
All right.
Yeah.
Went in there.
a date.
The night I went in there a night with the guy that ended up fucking curb stomping me and breaking my jaw a couple months after this.
Oh.
But I
sorry.
went in with him and we went up to the bar and he was like, "Hey, do you guys have frozen drinks?" And the guy just like shook his head and walked away. And then the woman at the bar was like, "This isn't for you. A bar just opened up for you guys called Buzzmill."
Here in town, huh?
Walk up to Buzzmill. And I was like, Sacramento is like a really diverse area. Like you for sure think about race, but you don't. It's not like a white secluded area. Like
Shout out to the American River.
yeah, shout out to the American River. Fucking, so I think it was like at one point like the second or third most diverse by capita fucking place in the nation or some shit. But I was like, I wanted to let him know like, oh, I don't hate. I fuck with Mexicans. You know what I mean? Like I fuck with, and so I was like, no, we're not racist. I thought it was on us. Like they thought, hey, these are some random Texas. Maybe they don't like Mexicans. And I was like, we like Mexicans. And the lady was like,
Gringo, please.
yeah, no,
She's
get out of
like,
here.
I don't think you understand, homie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it just the East Side too is like recently gentrified, and I feel like that was them trying to hang on for like the last.
I think that was like a culture. And here's the thing. I don't hate them for it. Same with the
No.
people in Mexico City that didn't want to speak English. I kind of respect that. I kind of respect that a lot, to be honest.
Listen,
Stand your ground,
I'm
baby.
not into the transracial thing, but if I can enter a machine and change the hue a little bit,
Yeah.
I'd think about it.
When I was in Louisiana for my honeymoon, we're at this bar. Shout out honeymoon. Shout out New Orleans.
Shout out Louisiana.
Shout out Louisiana.
Shout out the Bayou.
Fantastic state. Oh, it's just a bunch of people. We would be smart guys in Louisiana.
Oh, I've been, dude. They almost voted for me for mayor. I didn't even run.
We are
was there for a weekend. They're
We
like,
would be
"Dude,
called
you
a thinking man. Oh,
Yeah.
so you're a bit of a thinking man.
Yeah.
Love Louisiana.
Yeah, you're one of them Renaissance boys.
We're talking to the bartender, getting recommendations on restaurants, and the bartender is this like chill, cool white guy. My wife's white, I'm white, sitting at the bar, and he says, blah 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 blah. You should also try this one place, and gives us the name for it. It's called like, I don't know, Slim's or some shit like that. And he goes, oh, but that's actually for black people. And it's the same thing where I was like, oh no, we fuck with black. Like we're not like we don't want black people. We're good.
Yeah.
We don't have. And he says, no, this spot is really specifically reserved for black people, and they don't want white people in there.
Hey.
And so my wife and I went, and it was great, and they loved
Respect.
us. We had no issue. And I asked the server, I was like, hey, a guy said that white people aren't wanted here. Is that true? And he was like, not at all. We want your money just as much as we want black people money. And I was like, okay,
Dude,
sick. That's what I
the
thought.
scene that I picture is you walk in, like the DJ comes to a halt, everybody turns and looks at you, and then you just go, lo, down by the river where the water flows. Everybody just joins in. You just start floating through the bar. It's like that scene. Did you see the Elvis movie? Oh, dude, in the very beginning, they like depict how he found love for music, and it's him as a little boy, and he lives in like this complete black shanty town in Tennessee. I think it was Memphis. Right?
That sounds right. I'll look it up.
Sounds right. But
Shout out Memphis.
Shout out Memphis, shout out Tennessee, shout out Elvis. A little bit of an appropriator. But anyways, and this scene kind of shows. So he walks into like this black church, and like he comes in like he's being like possessed by the Lord, and like all the black people hold up Elvis, and like they're singing, and his eyes are like rolling back to the head like the Undertaker.
That's what I expected too.
Yeah.
I expected them to, I would say, hey, I'm going to teach you guys how to Dougie. And then I would Dougie a little bit, and then I would Nay a little bit.
Y'all hear about this thing called the stanky leg?
Yeah. One of them would say, "Do you know who MLK is?" And I go, "Yeah." I taught him everything he knew.
And then did you say, by the way, I didn't see you at the march, brother?
Yeah. I then take a knee for 15, 20 minutes while they all enjoy their brunch.
Yeah, you asked where you're from, Selma.
So my heart lives in Selma.
Dude, I went to New Orleans back in November. Shout out to the Scissorac. That's the drink of New Orleans. It's very tasty.
Nice.
It's like an old-fashioned, kind of sweeter. And I did a legitimate black room. And I did some like dicey racial material, and it was the best it ever went. And that confidence, bro, I still hold it from November.
Yeah.
You know, that'll really...
Can I tell you one of the funniest things in the fucking world,
Brother,
dude?
there's nothing you can't tell me in the next
There was a
half
comedian
hour.
I met, an open mic comedian I met outside of Creek and Cave that told me he was from Baton Rouge. I swear to fucking God, this is true, Maddie.
I got a Baton Rouge story too, but continue.
He says, I just started doing comedy. I've been so excited to start. I couldn't do it in Baton Rouge because all the rooms are black rooms. And I said, you don't want to do comedy for black people?
He cheated himself.
I know. And he goes, I just wasn't ready yet, so I wanted to come here. And I was like, that's it. First off, that's insane. When I first started doing comedy, there was a black room in Sacramento called Touch a Class. It was a barbershop, cat food restaurant, comedy venue, and it had metal detectors at the door. It was incredible, dude.
Wow.
The guy that hosted it was also a pastor that sold weed. It ruled, dude. It was incredible. And I bombed there so many times. But I also crushed there.
Yeah.
But
well, that's
bombing
the thing.
is more
They're
memorable in a black room.
They're the best. Black rooms are sincerely the best.
Yeah.
Whether you bomb or crush, it's like so memorable.
Yeah.
I love, and there's no in between.
Mm-hmm.
There really isn't. They either love you or hate you. If they like you off the bat, they're gonna give it up.
Yeah, really.
But you still gotta earn it.
The other thing, and you mentioned doing dicier material like racial stuff, right out the gate at black rooms doing racial stuff. I love it. Like it's not like a white room where people get more tense.
Yeah.
It's the opposite, where even if you're doing bad, people are more active and more excited to talk about it. Black people want to talk about race.
They're very
okay
interested.
talking about race.
Yeah, they're very interested in speaking about the truth.
Yeah.
Especially of American history.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're also interested in speaking during your comedy set.
that too, and any Avenger movie I've ever seen. But
dude,
that's not here nor there.
We were talking about seeing Borat late in life.
Yes.
So
when did you see Borat?
When I was like a teenager.
Dude, I saw it when I started dating my girlfriends 2 years ago.
I saw it in 2017, 2018. Funniest movie I ever saw. My dream, I wish I could go back in time. You know, people were like, I wish I could see Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock. My dream would be see Borat in a black theater. To see Borat with people who hadn't seen it before.
Yeah,
could you imagine? I've told this to people before.
Oh my gosh.
I've told it to older people in like the 40s or 50s who were like, I have seen it. I did see it in a black theater.
Yeah.
And one guy in particular, this guy I grew up with in fucking Sacramento, California, saw it in a black theater and says the scene where they were wrestling each other naked, the energy in that theater was electric. People were walking up, people were standing and pacing.
I was gonna say, bro, it turns into a mall on Black Friday real quick.
Yeah. I was like, that is my a dream
God, that
come
sounds
true.
fun. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. They just they're more excited to be alive. I feel like they understand they're blessed every day, and white people, we just take everything for granted. That's a fact.
Really do.
That is a fact.
Really do. People working from home in their nice office jobs being like, oh, times are so bad.
Minorities
right now.
like you and me, gingers, we understand.
Yeah.
We get it.
I have Irish spirit.
Same.
I was briefly in therapy for a while.
Also known as alcoholism. But
Also, therapy's fake.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
Oh.
Therapy is fucking fake. It's
Brother,
pretend.
I went to therapy, and every session ended with her telling me her problems. I became the fucking therapist.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, she was crying at my shit.
I had a therapist that started telling me she loved me, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to sit around and have some person talk down to me and then say I love you. I have parents already, dude.
Yeah.
I don't need this shit. But at therapy at one point, I was seeing a black woman for therapy, and she was talking about her ancestral...
Call you a pussy ever?
What was that?
She ever call you a pussy?
No. She was very, very what we would on the internet would call woke.
Oh, nice.
Very woke, progressive person overall. Smart lady, nice lady, nothing wrong with her. But at one point she was talking about ancestral DNA and feeling the DNA imprints or whatever in ancestral trauma. And she asked me if I related to the Irish aspect. And I was like, are you trying to make me a Facebook uncle? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you trying to say lean into the Irish slavery thing that your dad got into on Facebook in 2016?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I wouldn't recommend that advice.
Yeah. I was like, therapy's fake. This is pretend.
You didn't try it, though? I mean, if the doctor prescribes it.
Yeah. Doctor says, talk more about your Irish identity.
Dude, the older I get, the more I start to feel like doctors are just full of shit. I do feel that. I get that vibe. I mean, I feel like they you know why they leave the room for so long? Because they're Googling.
100% they are.
I really think that. They're looking through the books, they're thumbing, they call their doctor friends. They do that a lot. Every doctor's got a group chat. Dude, quick, I need help. Ask Siri, you know? I was an EMT, excuse me, let me rephrase this. Went to EMT school here in Austin, and I then took the class. I took the test. I passed. I was nationally registered EMT. Never worked a day as an EMT. It is now expired.
Nice.
So that was my journey. But we had to do practicals, so I had to do, because of COVID at the time, I only did one in the hospital, one on a truck. Normally, you're supposed to do, I think, 6 of each, and then like 3 in the baby ward. And for my class, that was like extra credit. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to see.
Got an A+, didn't drop a single baby.
Yeah, I don't need to see a head crown through a pussy. That's what Pornhub's for.
I've never seen a birthing video or anything like that.
Neither have I. I would if me and my girlfriend have a baby, I'll go in there. I'll watch it, but just because it's a miracle.
I'll be knuckle fucking deep. I know for a fact I am such a hands-on fella.
Yeah, you are, dude.
When the second my wife is like, oh, it's crowning, I'm like right there being like, I got it. I'm insane. I know I'll be fucking. You gonna be watching, or you gonna be holding a hand? Or you gonna be smoking?
I'll be peeping through my fingers like a scared little boy, like, oh, you know,
dude,
in your scrubs, dude, in your little gown.
Yeah, they have like the beard scrub on and everything. It'll be. I was gonna pull up a birthing video, but I'm borrowing my girlfriend's laptop, and she'd be pretty pissed.
That would be a tough one.
Yeah, just the search history. But it would have been great for you guys to look up and just seen a.
I thought you got engaged.
Oh yeah, my fiance. You're right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Shout out fiance.
Fiance.
Congrats again.
You did it right in front of the Disney castle.
No, I did
not. Matching shirts and the little.
Yeah. He was wearing Minnie. But yeah.
She proposed to him.
Do you guys have a favorite core Disney character? Like the original guys?
Was Road to El Dorado Disney?
Dude, it sure was. Is that your plan? Well, I like it. Straight from El Dorado. If you know, you know.
That is, but I was not imagining that's at all what you meant. You meant when like I meant Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Daffy Duck.
It's insane that when I said the core, like if you said Winnie the Pooh, you would have been wrong, but that would have been ballpark. You said Road to El Dorado. The only thing crazier than this, if you said it, does Atlantis count?
Yes.
That would have been gnarly.
That came out around this. I was 7 years old when
Road to
El Dorado came out. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, they came out back to back, 2000, 2001.
I believe there's a French character in Atlantis called the Mole, and he was like the miner, like the plumber or something. Yeah. That guy rocked.
This guy was sick.
There was same with Treasure Planet. There was a character just like him, just
Treasure,
kind of a gross European
Treasure
fat
Planet
guy.
is in this ballpark of you. If you said that would have been equally as crazy.
That came out the next year, 2002.
I just mean when I meant the
core Disney character.
I was talking your Mickeys, your Goofies, your Plutos, Donald.
Goofy movie predates those movies for me.
Goofy
so
movie,
I suppose.
Goofy movie rocks.
Did you say you're McDonald's?
You're Donald's.
Oh.
I'm a Donald Duck guy. We talked about this. I'm kind of a grouch at times. Bad things happen to me on the regular. My life is just a Donald Duck cartoon where there's like Brandon's narrating and I'm just stubbing my toe at every corner. I'm short of a speech impediment. I'm kind of built like a duck too.
The character I relate most to in any TV show ever.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Let me think about this for a second. Is this live action or cartoon?
Cartoon.
Okay, what cartoon character you identify the most? Can I get? Is it Nickelodeon, Disney? Am I hot or cold there?
I would say cold.
Okay. Cartoon Network?
Colder.
Okay.
PBS?
Cold.
Was it like a TV cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, TV cartoon that you identified as not Nickelodeon, not Disney, not PBS, not Cartoon Network.
Is it Hank Hill?
It's in that universe.
Okay, all right. I was thinking the wrong ballpark. Now
it's the meatball from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Never seen that.
Okay. Don't disrespect our guest like that. What are you doing?
I was just trying to think of an obscure answer. He is a great character.
He puts asses in seats.
Yeah, he's probably the best character in that.
What's the thing we say about the meatball?
Yeah. No, people are there. It's Meat Wad, I believe, is his name.
Yeah, that is his name.
Yeah. Meat Wad. That's how he talked, right? Yeah. I think Stewie Griffin?
Dale Gribble. Dale Gribble from King of the Hill is the 100%. Everything he says, I go, I've said that. I've said that without thinking. Every time.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I was close. That
Hank,
sucks.
that is some of the best writing, that show. King of the Hill is so good. It's literally, it feels like a sitcom.
Yeah,
it's
I love
so
it.
good.
I just found out Johnny Hardwick died. I forgot. I didn't know that.
Bobby. Did you hear?
Johnny Hardwick died last year?
It's too bad.
That's crazy. He was an Austin guy.
Shouts out.
That's wild.
Arlington, Texas.
Oh, I'm thinking Mike Judge. Wait, no. Johnny Hardwick is who I'm thinking.
Mike Judge is the Simpsons guy.
Okay, yeah. Johnny Hardwick is an Austin guy until he died. He was at Chortle Portal one time. It was an old Austin show.
Shout out. Rest in peace.
Shout out.
T's and peace to the family.
Johnny Hardwick, friend of the pod. Chortle Portal, friend of the pod.
What was I just going to say, though? Oh, I was on to something. It was cartoon related.
Meat Waddy?
It wasn't Mead Waddy. Like my dick. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what I got in the notes here. Dude, so love the new house. I have a new, I think the one small problem, my toilet bowl, a little smaller than I'd like, and my willy keeps touching the seat every time. It kills me. I grab one of the sanitized wipes. I wipe my dick off every time. Yeah. But now I feel like I got to keep bleaching the seat. I feel like it's also my self-responsibility.
You got to keep the seat bleached?
Something, you know?
I mean, a new toilet's only like $200.
Maybe I just go new toilet, take it out.
If your
that feels
dick
like an
is
intimidating...
touching the water that much,
no,
brother,
not the water, just the seat. Before I used to have my dick would never. I
what's
have
the
to
problem with your dick on the seat? What do you think happens to that seat?
Yeah.
Well, there's poop particles,
There's poop particle on everything.
but my dick's not touching everything.
Yeah, but then your dick's just dangling in the air of the poop particles where it
Poop
all
particles,
falls in the water and splashes.
Okay, so you guys are affirming I'm in my head a little bit. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah, you're
I didn't
good,
know.
I'll tell you right now, if my toilet was giving me trouble, I'd just get a new toilet.
Yeah, maybe.
Because pooping is something I don't want to have to think twice about.
Are you a squatty potty fella?
No, and here's the thing. I don't get a squatty potty because I feel like that's like a gateway to fascism. Someone told me I was pooping wrong.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you need to return to tradition and poop correctly. And I'm like, you're not going to tell me I'm pooping wrong. I'm not some fucking jabroni-ass retard that you can tell, oh, you're pooping wrong. No, I'm not.
Brother,
I'm not pooping wrong.
I used to have this stance, and then I used a squatty potty. I think you're pooping wrong.
Are you serious?
Brother, dude, it comes out like a fucking Pop-Tart out of a toaster, bro. Just
No
like
way.
a rocket. Shoots right out of there. You sometimes so hard you might even get a little backsplash, dude. It's satisfying.
Are you serious? Squatty potties really do change the game that
Squatty
much.
potties are the real deal.
Dude, you're going to see my ass marching with a fucking tiki torch. By
Crazy how, by the way, how hard of a stance you had. And then I came at you with not even a fact or like a...
Pretty easily
Yeah.
radicalized, right? You can see it in my eyes.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
ready to join something bigger than
You're a
myself.
full fascist now.
Yeah.
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 But dude, they're great. They are great. And
Are we seriously pooping wrong?
Dude, we're supposed to squat when we poop.
Here's the thing. I know this is kind of fucking dumb, but it is crazy that we have to wipe. Every time I wipe, I go, how do we? But you're telling me we're pooping wrong.
It's because of the butt cheeks. Because I think about this too. My dog poops and walks away.
Walks right
and
away from
his
me.
asshole just like a cigar cutter.
Uh-huh.
Just slices it off and then he moves along.
Mm-hmm. Mine more like an old yogurt machine, you know?
You or
Like
your
a
dog.
frozen yogurt?
Mine, yeah. Mine's
You gotta
like an
pull
old,
the lever down and
Yeah.
like at the buffets.
and then when you pull the lever back up, it's like, oh, there's a lot going on there still.
keeps
Am I supposed
still
to take that
dripping.
with me? Or is that for the next guy?
Yeah.
That's my butthole. It's like a marker without a lid on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been sending lead down range, dude. I've been pooping some bullets.
And it's from the squatty potty.
I don't have a squatty potty because I keep neglecting to buy one, but anytime I come across one, it's an absolute delight.
Okay.
It's
I don't
almost
know
like a
if I
treat.
really believe how much the squatty potty thing is in. Because if it was that life
Well, no,
you would buy
I
one.
like to keep it as a treat. Where it's like I see it's like this is gonna be a good poop.
It's a treat.
Yeah, no.
Where are you getting the squatty potty access?
Shout out to Buddha. Second time in this podcast, Buddha's got a squatty potty at his place in the guest room, bathroom. And every time I stay there, I use the squatty potty. I'm telling you, bro, it comes out.
They're like $20.
They're nice. Oh, a nice.
You
mahogany.
gotta own one to give that good of a
I've heard
testimony.
people say. I've heard. I think this was Dan Soder that said this on a podcast. He is so involved in the squatty potty game that he got a travel squatty potty that he brings with him.
That is.
Oh, yeah,
a
look at
bummer
this
to know.
collapsible one. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I met a
That's
guy one
fucking
time.
crazy.
Dude, next time you come across like a particularly low toilet, pay attention to the experience. Because that's getting close to the squatty
Get your
potty
knees
region.
up there.
Get
Chinese
your knees
people,
up.
they just poop in holes.
Dude, try going toes.
Toes in or toes out?
No, like go on your toe. Go on
Oh,
your
like
toes.
a hot yoga stance?
Yeah, it'll
where I'm
sink
on
you-
my toes
yeah,
and then I'm squatting down.
Exactly. You'll sweat the same too.
That's what squatty potties are for, is toes up, ass
I'm
down.
saying without the squatty potty, if you go toes, it'll give you a sentiment of the experience.
Wow.
You'll
Man,
kind of get what I'm saying.
I-
Yeah. See that? It's
I like this.
Josh.
Diagram
Shout out to
of
Josh
how to poop.
Kabaza. He has a joke about this. Get the kink out of your colon, something like that. But that's what it does. It like straightens out your colon, so you just poop like a. Dude, it's like when you go to the bank and they drop down that vessel with your money.
Yeah.
That think about. Yep, there you go. That's
the
the noise.
pneumatic tubes.
By the way, there's a Taco Bell that does that now.
I love that.
What? Just
Yeah.
your Baja Blast explodes everywhere. When it arrives?
It comes down on like a platter.
That's so fucking cool.
That rules.
I mean that, but like, do we need that?
I think we do.
Okay, I would agree actually.
I want a pneumatic tube to each one of our houses, and Amazon.com
Oh,
can
you're
just
onto something.
pump in our medicine,
Yeah, dude.
pump in our
It's like
entertainment.
Whoville. I
our
feel like
slop. It pumps in our slop, and then for an hour each day, we get to watch a reality show.
I would
if
like to
we
be able to
promise
send
watch
you a
ads.
personal message via tube as well.
Yes.
You know, maybe we're watching the same show.
It's just your poop. You squatty potty into the pneumatic tube.
I just
right
bring you
over.
a sample. I send you a sample. What do you think about this stool? Yeah, dude, try a squatty potty. Don't be so close buttholed.
I
Don't
would
be so close-assed.
You understand? You're coming to me and you're saying, "Oh, you're pooping wrong." That's the core of who I am. I'm a
brother,
pooper.
listen,
Big pooper.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I think you've been systematically failed.
This
is
is not
not-
the individual's fault.
Yeah, no, this is not on you, dude. This was the world you were born into, and now I'm trying to teach. I get that I'm coming off as an extremist. I understand that this is not a cult, but if you want to take your pants down, Brandon, we'll turn the lights off a little.
Yep.
So just know that.
Hey man, all good ideas seemed like extreme the first time we heard about him.
That's
First
what-
guy that said we should let women vote seemed insane.
Yeah, there's
He
a dude.
seemed insane.
Can you imagine the guy that said, "Hey, we should cut this bread"? Dude, off with his head. That's what we'll cut, bitch. How about that? And then they're like, "Wait a minute, a little tomato in the middle of this could be something."
Yeah, I'd lose my shit.
Yeah.
I think I'd do great during like a witch trial period.
Okay.
I think I'm a fantastic accuser.
Brother, I also think that you have some crazy ideas, and you're very, how do I say this, open with them.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, but maybe not in Salem. Can we get a year on that? Can we get a year on the witch trials?
I think I'm walking around Salem. I got a trailer, and I pull up. I'm standing on the back of my trailer.
Is this horse driven?
It's horse driven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horses stop, and I go, "The Lord sent me to weed out the demon possessed women
Nice. That's a good angle.
in this city."
Okay.
And I go, "If you abandon me now, God abandons you next year. Do I walk on, or do you accept my message?"
Do you think maybe a year's a little long? Maybe like next by fall?
Maybe a few months.
Yeah, a few months.
I would need a guy like you there with me.
Yeah.
And then
let me punch up your speech.
Because I would want to either sell him snake oil or take multiple wives. That's what I would be doing in this time period. I would
I
like.
think,
used
brother,
Joseph
back in
Smith.
the day, I think you do one, you do both.
Yeah. Do you guys know Joseph Smith, the guy that invented Mormonism?
Yeah.
First of all, he didn't invent it. He found a white salamander that brought him to the book that only he could read.
Who with the
agree
seeing
more.
eye of the golden
Love
tablets.
Yeah, you're into that.
Oh, absolute fucking G.
Yeah,
dude.
you're
Before he
just-
was doing that, he was just treasure hunting on people's lands, and then
He struck gold, baby. let me tell
plenty
you.
of times, getting people to pay him for nothing. Absolute G, dude.
Yeah, I think he died with 87 sister wives.
There it is, dude. The first thing he did, he's like, "Hey, God, talk to me." It says, "Gonna need more pussy around here."
Yeah, it says.
By the way, you don't get to go to heaven unless you give it up for me.
By the way, he also told me your dads and brothers can't be trusted.
Yeah.
So,
Then he went and started his own bank. He started a bank in Illinois, and then they were like, "You can't do a bank." He goes, "Okay," so he started an army to defend this bank.
this is Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
He's early Andrew Tate.
He was like an Andrew Tate, but he was likable though. So many people followed along and did it. Why? He probably wasn't actually sent from God. If he was actually sent from God,
Can I say something?
Wow.
Can I say something quite controversial?
Yeah.
You ever meet a Mormon?
Yeah.
Pretty stupid.
Oh yeah.
So,
Dumb as fucking a bowl of cereal. It's insane.
dude, I mean, almost every true crime involves a Mormon mother trusting a guy with her daughter.
I get pretty frustrated when I talk to people who are like really far right and are like super nationalistic, because I'm like, if you believe that, you should convert to Mormonism. This is their holy land. Like, if you believe that, there's only one religion that holds the U.S. as their holy land. It's Mormonism. They have their own intelligence agencies. They have their own fucking economy in Utah. Join that church. Be a fucking nationalist. If you're a nationalist and a Christian, I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Now-
That doesn't make sense.
There's a couple things that I like. I hear that everyone gets into heaven.
Mm-hmm. Everyone goes to heaven.
I can be sold on that. You know, I've done some scandalous things. I like that idea. That would really relieve some anxiety that I have.
Guess how women get to heaven? Marrying you. That's how they have access to the priesthood.
Keep talking, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, preach, cuz speak.
Yeah.
I like that. I like. I don't like the Sunday thing. I'd like to roam free on Sunday. I'd like to go
Long
out.
sermons, like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, dude. See, the Catholic, we keep it 60 minutes. You're out. If you're my dad, you take the communion, you go straight to the car.
Oh, that's a cool move.
Yeah, my dad was cool about that.
He doesn't need closing prayer.
Nope, he thinks that the communion's the period, and then we out.
I think he's right. That's the body of
No,
Christ.
that's fire.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's
No
fire.
rules. That's how I would do it,
It's
too.
gas. I think the kids are saying gas now.
Gas. That's
Yeah.
gas.
I went to church with my in-laws, and they show up right at the end of church, right at the end of worship, and then leave before the end worship starts. So they're there for like most of the message.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how you church.
Yeah, that's
dude.
cool as fuck.
They're last in the parking lot, first out.
It's
the
like a
parking
Lakers
lot.
game, dude. Beat the traffic.
100%.
That's all
And they
we're
live in a
doing.
small town. They're not even real traffic to beat.
Bro, my dad walks into church on Sunday morning, and he's freaking John Belushi, dude. Everyone's dabbing him up. Like, bro, my dad is the king of St. Kateri, shout out. They love him there, bro. And I'm like a legend. Like, he says that he just speaks of me, and like, yeah, my son went off to war. Not really. But,
To them, you're a war hero that's now following your dreams of comedy. That's like the coolest thing to brag about.
You're the American dream to them.
I do like them. I think my dad gasses me up.
And
dude. I like
there's a
that.
period of time right now. We're in like a very specific period of time where like cool army guy podcasts are awesome. Like
Yeah.
there's a demographic that think the coolest thing in the world is like cool army guy podcast.
And on,
that's what they
on
think you're
that
doing.
note, by the way, this podcast is brought to you Black Rifle Coffee, guys. Like and subscribe. Get your coffee. Our new blend, I believe it's called Drop That Turban Roast. It's fucking bold.
I
let me
want to
tell you.
start like a fake veteran coffee shop and just never claim that I'm a veteran, but just being like photos of me in different Army Man costumes and name it something like the Quartermaster Hut or something like
I
that.
love Army Man costumes.
different ones, though, like the dress costume and then the actual fighting
Even
costume.
referring to them as Army Man.
And I'm
is
wearing the
very-
makeup. I'm wearing like the makeup they fight when they're out there. You know what I'm talking about?
And I like that. I picture your idea of the makeup is you just go full green like those little action figures.
I have like a
Like from
knife
Toy
under my
Story?
chest rig.
Yeah.
you
dude.
know?
Oh, I used to play with those little army guys. Me and my brother would. Oh my god. Do you remember? Like they're in
No,
Toy
they were the
Story. They're the
shit,
ones
yeah.
that drop down. Oh my god. It's a
With
puppy.
Did you ever build like houses
It's
with
a
Lincoln
puppy.
logs
Yeah,
too?
dude, Lincoln Logs were hot,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Put the army men in that. Build
Those
a
are
little
good.
barracks.
I believe that's a signal of your parents' tax bracket. If you were Lincoln Logs versus Lego,
Yeah.
I was a Lincoln Logs family.
I was a Lincoln Logs family for sure.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that rich or poor?
I want to say
Poor.
poor, but I mean I
I
was.
feel like
Legos
Lincoln
are
Logs are so-
expensive.
We had Legos too, though. So
Yeah,
feel
I
rich.
had both. The Lincoln Logs was like my dad being like, I had Lincoln Logs, and he grew up really.
Have you guys been
poor.
to? My dad's so old that he was playing with actual logs. Dude. He was just out in the backyard chopping down trees. But have you guys been to Legoland?
Yeah,
No, is it nice?
it rocks.
I mean, as an adult, probably
You're
huge.
You're
red
not
flag.
allowed in without a kid.
That checks
That-
out.
So
It's
yeah.
not like Disneyland. Yeah.
No, they have to have
God.
a
We
kid
should
under
make
the age
public
of
parks
18.
like that too.
Yeah, and also Legoland kind of has the vibe when I went that it was like a carnival that they never updated.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just like if you liked Legos, it was cool because there was like Lego shit. But it's like one of those money traps where you're like, oh, it's $60 to get in, but then there's not like rides. Every activity is like build something, and then at the end they're like, yeah, but don't you want it? And then you're like, God damn it, this is 20. The last thing was 25. The thing before that was 30.
And
Wait,
I-
so the events at Legoland are building Legos?
Yeah, yeah.
We got Legoland at home, baby. We got Legoland at home.
They have
no
some
way.
rides
you
and
could also
water
get your
parks.
fake driver's license. They had like these little go karts, and you can take a driving course. Which, when I'm thinking
was
about
the
it, this is
sickest.
starting to feel like just like mundane chores.
Yeah, really.
But
My
then again,
wife
dude,
went to this
oh
thing
my
growing
God,
up
can we-
where
can
they
we-
pretend to work at grocery stores, and I was like, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's
It's just
stupid.
preparing you for monotony.
Dude, did you ever meet those kids that went to like what was it called, like guillotine or something?
What?
Or it's like they go and they learn how to be fancy and like go to the ball.
Debutantes.
Debutante, but there's another word for it,
Society girls.
something like that. But I had like friends that would go to this and like
Yeah,
learn.
I'll be honest, dude. Those are like some of the hottest women in the world.
Probably, but I can't imagine. My dad would be like, I ain't raising no fag. What the hell?
I remember I worked at this event in Fort Worth
my
that
dad's
was all
words, not mine.
society girls, and this like absolutely gorgeous bajillionaire girl came out into the lobby and was like shithouse drunk, and I got her water and like helped her to her Uber. And then one of the guys I was working with that like knew society stuff and like was like, they write about it. It's like a whole fucking world of bajillionaires. He was like, oh, she's the heir to some blah, blah, blah fortune. And I was like, damn, I see my life. I see her carrying me away. I get pretty womaned. And then I live in like a penthouse because, you know, her dad sold fucking heroin to the Taliban or some shit like that.
That's like there's got to be a softcore novel in that same region.
I would absolutely love to read romance novels about open mic comedians getting carried away by society girls.
I think you should start writing them.
I'm
Pen to
rock
paper,
hard.
pen to paper, baby, and
Rock
actually
hard
just dip your
thinking
dick in some ink and start writing.
That's where it comes from.
So when did you get your driver's license? Do you know what age?
16.
16. Brandon?
16.
I think 16 as well. And I want to say, I don't know how you grew up, but I think me and Brandon grew up pretty similar. When you first got your license, I cannot think of a more gangster-free feeling of like, I don't know if you guys had cars to drive. I got to drive my parents' cars every now and then my aunt sold me her old 98 Civic stick shift, forest green. Its name was Old Russie. That's what we called her. But just a free time to be alive. I think a summertime, like golden hour, you're going to your buddy's house, like you can't wait to have your first beer and drive a little drunk. Oh, so exciting, dude.
This is a thing in California when I was 16 was like the first half year that you had your license, you couldn't drive a friend that was under 21. So like I would pick up my homies and drop them like the street before my house, go home, be like, hey, Eddie's coming over and like, I think he said he'll be here in like 10 minutes. And I'd be like, dude, wait 15 minutes and then come to the front door.
Why couldn't you have said 3? Why the fuck? It's hot as hell down here.
Because my mom's smart, you know? So I was like, I got to. So they'd like sit in the park for 10 minutes on their phone and then just come up and be like, hey, I'm here. And I would just do that nonstop.
Yeah. We would do the same thing. Like I would, if I would pick up my buddy who's like, our moms would all talk, dude, like wet hens, like we talked about, squawking geese and just gossip queens. And so they would know. So I would have my buddy like, yo, I got to pick you up around the corner, dude, not in front of the house. But God, what a sexy time to be alive, dude. Yeah. Picking up your first girl in a car.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Put a little black ice on the mirror so it smells nice.
Black ice was a hot car scent, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, your dad gives you the credit card. Hey, go get it washed.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what waxing is, but I'll fucking pay for it.
Fill her up. Yeah. Hey, fill her up tonight.
Sir, this is a...
God, dude, when my dad would throw me his keys on a Friday night.
Game over.
Did you have a similar experience?
So I grew up super Christian. So my parents just believed I would spend the night at my friend's house.
So you got, dude, so you just had a couple church buddies. You would drop those names.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
And then you would go to a completely, they had
heroin,
no idea you were hanging out with the skaters, the bad boys, the goth girls.
Did you say heroin?
Yeah, I'd literally go do heroin.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
For the recovery. We're clapping that you're not on heroin anymore.
Thank you.
Because you don't just do heroin once.
No, you do heroin.
That's a journey.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's funny. I stopped doing heroin, but then like I never stopped drinking or smoking crack or anything.
Damn.
And so I tell people like, oh, I used to do heroin. They'd be like, how long have you been clean? I've been like, well, I haven't done heroin.
No. Here's the thing, honey. I'm built different.
Yeah. I remember when I first started dating my wife, I was like, just stopped smoking crack, and I saw this homeless guy downtown, and he was like. I smoked crack with him maybe like 6 months before that, and we like had a little like exchanging of words, and then a few months later we're downtown and me and this homeless guy have an exchanging of words, and she was like, babe, is that homeless guy from a few months ago? I was like, no, this is a different homeless guy I have beef with down here. And she was like, that is so unattractive. It's like she's like, you have multiple beefs with homeless guys about crack. And I'm like, well, yeah, it doesn't bring you a lot of peace.
Babe, we live in the suburbs. What are you doing? Yeah. That's so funny. So paint this picture for me. So mom or dad throws you the keys. They think you're going to Kumbaya at Jenny's house. Jenny's obviously the pastor's daughter, but instead you're going to maybe Enrique to get some tar.
Yeah, I would drive down to my friend Sonny's house and we would do
Shout
Percocets together.
out, Sonny. We hope you're doing well.
I hope you're doing well, Sonny. I think she lives in Europe now. We're doing pretty good.
Oh, okay. Cheaper heroin.
I imagine. Oh,
nice.
I gotta imagine Europe has better heroin. You know, other countries don't have fentanyl problems.
Clean.
You know this?
Yeah. This I know.
When I found out that other countries don't have fentanyl problems, I was fucking furious.
Brother, I'm going to blow you away. They don't have school shootings either.
Oh, dude, well, hang on. I'm not giving up that, buddy.
Come on.
I'm not giving up school shootings.
Come and take them.
Yeah, come and take them. I do like that being a teacher is statistically more dangerous than being a police officer. Come and take them. Come and fucking take them, buddy.
That is funny, and they get paid significantly less.
Significantly less.
Yeah, no body armor on them. Tell you that.
We don't have the funds for it.
Yeah, nope.
Does money just grow on trees?
Yeah, but we have 18 cops posted up on 6th Street on Friday night.
Yeah, with tanks.
Yeah.
I love seeing small town cops with like tanks.
Yeah, you turn the corner, you just hear grenade.
Yeah, my buddy is a firefighter in Pennsylvania. And it's right outside of Shanksville where the fucking flight went down.
Where there's just golfing fires all the time, too. Shout out.
And, it's crazy how serious his job is as a firefighter. He says the police out there have, like, crazy tanks and stuff like that. And so all the time, instead of arresting people, they intentionally do standoffs. So they won't knock or give you any warning. They'll just line up all their tanks outside someone's house and announce, like, come out. Yeah. And it's like small town Pennsylvania, and they're like intentionally doing little stand.
Well, Pennsylvania seems like a state where you can still do a duel. You can still like go to the hill and do 10 paces.
Mutual combat in Texas. If you agree to a fight, you can fight. In California, if you fight someone, you're both getting assault charges.
That's a thing in like, isn't it like Seattle that like if there's
Washington
a cop,
is mutual fight as well.
where it's like if there's a cop nearby, he has to referee. What's the training on that? Do they send him to like a boxing gym for a week in the police academy?
They say, hey, go home to your wives, practice.
Yeah.
Go home to your wife.
I would love to see like two homeless people fighting and a cop refereeing and they grapple. He's like, no, hey, just keep your distance.
Standing
Let me
clinch
see you
only.
hit. Let me see you hit. That's great. Dance, boys. Let me see you dance.
That's so funny.
That I like cop in Seattle they give them whistles too. that seems like an unnecessary rule, but I kind of fuck with it. What do you think?
You know what's funny is in Washington is the only other state besides Texas that actually allows the just hand-to-hand combat, but if you like create body injury then it's off. So like we could do mutual combat, but then if I like break your legs,
you can't.
I can't make you retarded.
There's a no maim clause.
I think that's a great
just give him a bunch of vaccines till he turns retarded. How does that feel, loser?
Making him watch videos on Islam.
Well, I watched that documentary that came out last Halloween about the guy that runs the craziest haunted house in the country, Russ McCamey, you dirtbag. Really, it's just a torture chamber. He just brings people here.
Yeah.
But they sign a contract that's like 250 pages long where he tells them all the things he's going to do. Anyways, what I've learned is people cannot legally agree to bodily harm.
Yeah.
And bodily harm is, I think it's neck, head, and then if I can't use a limb ever again. So, or I think permanent damage. Like, I don't think you can burn me.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But if you give me stuff, what if I just, because you get punched in the face, that could change things.
Oh, yeah.
Is that consider a maim if your cheek's a little different?
You've got a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Really depends on the judge and lawyer.
That's the thing, is like...
The Texas Hammer?
Yeah, if you got a lawyer, anything's legal. I used to have this lawyer that would challenge me. He'd always dare me to kill someone. He'd always be like, dude, you got to do it. I know I can walk another murder. He walked a murderer and bragged about it. He's like, I know this guy was guilty. I know he did it. Walked him. And he's like, I know I can walk a murderer.
He's saying this at the poker. He's saying it at a poker table in Palm Springs.
At a strip club.
Telling strangers, yeah. Fuck, dude. We're at the point in the podcast where the thoughts are just leaving me. What were we just talking about? Where are we at an hour? What were we just saying, though?
Before being able to fight in Texas without any consequences? How Washington, mutual combat, dueling. Pennsylvania sounds like a state where you can duel. It sounds like a state where you can duel because my friend's police station has a tank. And
are you familiar with the Amish? This isn't where I was going to go.
Very familiar with
the Amish. You ever
Amish.
experienced them?
I have. Do you remember Bridge Hirschberg or
Shout
whatever?
out, dude. Tuesdays at the Romo Room, Holy Comedy. Spelt COWMEDY.
Dude, the guys that ran the Romo Room, not the comedians, but the non-comedians that were involved in that were so pretentious about the Romo Room. Do you remember that?
Then they fled town and just didn't run the room anymore.
Dude, I can't remember their names, and they weren't very nice to me.
It was something, Romo was like his name, Rob Morris or something.
I remember
like
I did a set there, and he asked me, are you and your friends going to stay the whole show? And I was like, what? And he was like, I swear to God. He said, we prefer if you guys stay the whole show. And I was like, okay. I would prefer a lot of things, but you're fucking insane if you think I'm going to stay for a 2-hour comedy show.
Are you paying me for 10 minutes or 120?
Dead serious. That's insane. I would never tell someone, hey, I'm going to book you. Sick. And then they go out there and be like, hey, by the way, you have to be here the whole time. It's like, okay, so this is like a bait and switch.
Oh, you hit him with a stick around if you want.
That's
it's a bringer show.
Yeah.
That's
unless you say, hey, this is a bringer show, you can't just leave. Because that would suck at in the open mic days when somebody would bring a bunch of people, but they would go first and then would just leave, and it's like, oh.
But that was also crazy. Do you remember the guilt that sometimes the hosts and other comics would be like, damn, dude, you really gonna do your spot and leave? It's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to go do other shitty open mics.
Well, it would be a lot more fun if everyone stayed.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun if we all got to go on the road and be fucking headliners, but this is not how this works.
I think those have to be new people that are doing the open mics that think oh, maybe you'll stick around, because it's if you have done this, that's not what this is for.
No.
And I think also people that start shows, they'll go, oh, I thought you were going to stick around because I just started this show. It's I don't care how your show goes.
Right.
This is your show, not my show.
Yeah.
You're welcome for crushing.
And on that note,
sorry,
folks,
I bombed.
that's a good place to put a pin in it, dude. This was so much fucking fun, bro. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Barely had to think, man. We just kept talking. But this will come out this Thursday, 2 days from today. So if you have anything to plug your podcast, any shows coming
Check out the podcast. Me and Sam Castillo have Bad News podcast on the Creek and Cave Network. That makes us label mates, right?
Yeah, we're label mates. Fuck yeah, we're sisters.
We're sisters. 3 sisters in here talking about comedy.
That's right, dude. Just a couple of soul
Cluck,
sisters.
cluck, 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 cluck.
I actually, fuck, dude. Can I ask you to come on today because I'm last minute about everything? But I would love to have you and Sam come on again together. That'd be a lot of fun.
I would love that. We'll definitely talk conspiracy.
Yeah, dude.
If you want to have Sam and I both on, we've both read the same fucking Bush Family of Secrets and Chaos by Tom O'Neill. We have the same.
Yeah, I'm feeling
demon.
like getting flagged, dude. I definitely want to have you two on.
Absolutely.
But anything else you got?
That's all. Check out the podcast. Instagram is God's favorite comedian.
The Lord say he has spoken.
I haven't posted on TikTok or Twitter in a year.
But he might, so follow him.
But follow me there. Bad Boy LLC and JT Smelly. Those are my ats.
Hell yeah,
Thank you for having me on. I love hanging out.
Dude,
Anytime.
We'll have you back soon. I fucking love you, dude. You're hilarious. Matty Stew Comedy, give me a follow. Got things coming up, but I forgot about them all. Brandon?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram at @BrandonLejeune_. All my stuff I do is there.
All right. Captain's Dogs. Woof, woof.
Woof, woof.